previous video, please check the link in the description box. And this video will tell you why I've been away for so long and how I've come back and what we're doing for the year. So yeah, click on the link to watch. So I thought it wise to pick up from where we ended last year, and that was the egg fried rice, where I left in the description or in the video to ask that if you wanted me to bring your way the perfect way to cook the perfect rice or the perfect jasmine rice, you all should let me know. And I got a lot of people telling me they wanted to see that. So today I'm here to show you how to cook jasmine rice perfectly to get the best outcome for your fried rice. Let's go straight into the video.
For this, I'll be using 1 kilogram of jasmine rice. If you're using basmati, please be careful as the water absorption capacity can be a bit different from jasmine rice. So please stick to jasmine rice for this recipe, okay? I'll also be using some sunflower oil, which will help the rice cook perfectly to avoid it sticking together once cooked, and some salt to taste. To cook the perfect rice, you need a very good pot. You can see that this pot is very old. I call it oldie but goodie. I would never use it for YouTube. However, it cooks my rice perfectly. Though it's not non-stick, when you cook rice in it, it doesn't stick at all and it doesn't burn either once you keep a good eye on it. So now I'll transfer my rice to the pot and wash it with some warm water to get rid of some of the starch. Washing the rice is totally optional. It's all up to you, okay? Washing is done now, so I'll add some water to cook the rice. To get a perfectly cooked rice, the quantity of water used is really important. So I use the traditional method, which is my finger. I ensure that the depth between the level of rice and water is as high as the first crease of my index finger. So always use your index finger, okay? I'll also add a little tiny weeny bit of salt to taste and a little bit of oil as well. Because I'm going to use it for fried rice, I don't use a lot of salt, just a little bit to taste. I'll then cover it and cook on high heat for 5 minutes. Depending on your cooker, you want to keep an eye on it until it comes to a boil like this. Then you can turn it down to medium-low heat and allow it to continue cooking. For another minute, depending on your cooker, check, and when the water is almost dried out like so, cover it with some parchment paper and then your lid. Turn the heat down to low heat, which I believe we've already done, and allow it to cook for another 15 minutes, which your rice should be ready then, depending again on your cooker. As you can see, it's cooked beautifully. It's separating beautifully. It's not stuck together. One thing is, I never ever stir my rice when I'm cooking it, because if you stir it, it's going to break, and we don't want broken rice for our fried rice. So please do not stir it, okay? Just trust your instincts and check to make sure that it's not burning and the water is not dried out. Just follow this process and you get a perfectly cooked jasmine rice for your fried rice. Also, when dishing it out, be sure to use a fork and not a spoon, as a spoon would cause your rice to break. So always use a fork to fluff it out gently, okay? Spread it out on any flat surface or a tray and allow it to cool down completely before you use it for your fried rice. Every time I do this, I leave it overnight so it cools off completely, and it will even separate more after it's cooled off overnight. If you don't have the time to wait for it to cool off overnight, you can allow it to cool off a bit and leave it in the fridge to cool off completely, and you can use it there and then. The main aim for us leaving it overnight is so it separates more, because you don't want to use hot rice for your fried rice. Just look at that. It's separated beautifully and it smells amazing in here as well. You see what I told you? It did not burn at all. Whenever you're cooking as a lady, always make sure that you check on it frequently to avoid it from burning. At the end, I was so happy with the results, and just look at that. I hope you'll be using this method to cook your jasmine rice going forward. Just look at that. Again, don't forget that you need a really good pot, no matter how old or new it is. If it's old, just clean it and make it brand new. Look at that rice there. I'll be showing you this recipe in my next video. Stay tuned.